Welcome. We're going to get underway. Hello, everyone. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to get underway, but you know. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. And I'll be John a little bit too. So, hey, thanks and welcome. Really thrilled this evening to welcome Abraham Smith and Steve Timm. Thank you both for being here. Exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah. So, and thanks to all of you and those of you tuning in on the internet. Couple of announcements before we dive into it. We have books for sale by both, including each poet's most recent collections, Surgencies by Abraham Smith and Rule of Composition by Steve Timm, among many others. So collect them all. Yeah, join us for a few things I'm going to mention this weekend and beyond. So Sunday, May 3rd at 7, as part of our Alternating Currents Live concert series, we'll be welcoming the Mai Sugimoto Trio, featuring Mai Sugimoto on alto sax and flute, Joshua Abrams on bass, and Isaiah Spencer on drums. That's going to be an incredible show at 7 p.m. this Sunday, May 3rd. Consider coming for that. And then Thursday, May 7th at 7 p.m., a reading featuring Alan Felsenthal and Kendra Sullivan. Alan, who's editor of The Song Cave, incredible small press, and Kendra, who's director of the Center for Humanities at the CUNY Graduate Center, and both will read from their own recent collections. That's Thursday, the 7th at 7 p.m. And then one more thing. You can find out more in here and on our website. But one thing worth mentioning is our homecoming farewell. This is our May is our last month of programming in this space before we move and reopen in Bayview in the fall. And so there are a lot of other things happening in addition to what I've mentioned, but a major farewell homecoming on Friday, May 22nd. It'll kick off with a reading featuring Soam Patel, Brenda Cardenas, and Mauricio Kilwing Guevara. And then there are several Saturday readings on May 23rd. First, a reading with Bethany Price, Brian Cherry, and Sawar Mastanat. A couple of these poets are here in the room, so hey, thanks. Good to see you. A reading and performance with Edie Roberts and Chelsea Tedeschi of Pity Milk Press. And then an evening reading, this is all on May 23rd, featuring Kim Blazer, Franklin K.R. Klein, Jake Skeets, and Sherwin Bitsui. Woo! And there's a potluck. Yes, and a potluck between the Pity Milk reading and the evening reading. There will be a potluck similar to our marathon potlucks when that used to happen here, maybe in that vein. So we'll make it homey and cozy. And then a closing reception on May 24th for this wonderful exhibition of works by Anne Kingsbury, in addition to being a phenomenal artist, of course, co-founder of Woodland Pattern. And again, a lot of these people are here with us tonight, so hi, everyone. This is nice. Okay. Again, consult this handsome newsletter or our website for more. There is a lot more happening in May. It's pretty packed, so just consider spending most of your month with us. And then tonight, I've got some introductory remarks now about these two fine poets. We have two musicians of the word, magicians of the image who find their ways variously into the rhythms of language. We have Abraham Smith's limber lilt that, quote, roars ragged fire. Charlie Parr's album, Sound No Song, is referenced as the other soundtrack to this one in Smith's latest book, Surgencies, and that album is described as, quote, fragments or phrases or sounds that make a different kind of record. And Smith's poems speak in something like that kind of disjunct, fused with a susurrant underringing, according to Will Alexander, where a certainty poisons the poison, and so the path is through echoes and echoes, echoes of echoes, after and for the disjointure. An ever unfolding movement towards a place, quote, called by the name of nowish. And we have Steve Timm building, quote, a freaking holy dais of portmanteau, neologism, near words, and other interlingual explorations, a dive so deep into the experiential dimension of language, a being with and within some sundry sounds, guests gusted up from an elselessness. It's a writing that breathes itself out in, quote, the lung of the drawl and makes a shelter worthy of this world's crooked sky, to borrow from Abraham Smith. Both Abe Smith and Steve Timm leave us, quote, a body being flooded, music glad, and lead us lost down the sound hole. I'm borrowing language from them here. To hear either one of these poets is a bask and a bastion, and to be in company with the pair is a special kind of magic. What Steve Timm says of the music of Cecil Taylor may equally well apply to the experience of seeing them both perform. Quote, the work exists when listened to, just as the listener exists and grows through the offices of the music. Steve Timm, up first, is a poet and sound poet in Madison, Wisconsin. He's the author of 4 books of poetry, the most recent of which is Rule of Composition, poems written to the Cecil Taylor Feel Trio's 2 T's for a Lovely Tea, incredible book, as well as several chapbooks. Steve, thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Mike, for that amazing intro. I turned to Abe and I said, yeah, I'd like to meet those guys. They sound pretty special. It's a gas to be here. It's a gas to be reading with someone who I consider one of the great American poets, period, you know. And as I look around the room, I see a few others who might fit in that category as well. Right, Louis? Okay, anyway, thanks to Jenny and Laura and Mike and Louis and Chuck and the rest of the gang, and thanks to Carl and Ann for founding this place and all that good stuff. All right, so I have 3 parts here. The first part will be some new poems from a manuscript I'm calling Words for Poems. A few of those have notes after them that I'll read. Then I'll read a couple from Rule of Composition, and then I'll finish with a sound thing. This first one is actually for Abe, who recently was named a full professor at Weber State University. And yeah, so this is a poet being named full professor at a university in Utah. So I think that's pretty nice. And recently he's been sending me some of his newest work by voice message. And one of them just spurred me to write this the day that I found out he also was named a professor. So it's called Promotional. Excuse me, gotta look for my scalp. This professor fella's poem just tore it off to get in my brain and rearrange it the way a good poem ought to should. Jingle, tingle goes the harp cell. Merganser swinging by the neighbor lake for a day or a daysman meant to back us. Maybe now we'll add down steady yups how I figured it. And never mind highfalutin, the high-flying nation of it. A hallelujah, hellabella like us tourism to retuning forks remeans the world. Swingers, seems we must pardon every last tin-hearted, steel-eared blowgart on the ever half-off chance their ears will regrow and get their share of the D night and B daisy lazing and other furry blossomers trying to heat April up over the Friesel bar on the weather map. This one's called Cage, and there's a little note after it. Where'd all the hoop-de-wills and word corks gone, the metal lurks and bobolinks, the crux-eyed verities and tufted by the vermilion shell-freaking God's beak-coming flinkers punctuating this eerie page, and not a searing, sorry, slumped, vippery mogul in eyesore sight. What'll it be, bar swaller swoops up to ask you and back like a farm hench, sage, chickle, woo, thrusted, crusted, fecker, zisted, flowler, do, ranger, because whoever rang this dude, dumbed it rung. The old missteppin' ladder swindledy-dum. And the title is part homage to John Cage for saying, if you develop an ear for sounds that are music, it is like developing an ego. You begin to refuse sounds that are not musical, and in that way cut yourself off from a good deal of experience, which was in an interview with Wes Nisker, 1986, in Inquiring Mind, Volume 3, Issue 2. It's like wearing earbuds outdoors, buddy. But he couldn't have known that now then, could he have? Not sure about the tabourets in Zanzibar. Tambourines, trouble worth the trouble. The skid marks were life in its separate autonomies. How many corns can you eat? On which coast? Telling someone you matter to, you matter. The newest discovery is Horace Tapscott. How much you, and couldn't say how's it going. Now who's failing up a storm? What'd you bleed that for? Delilah Sampson at the waffle iron, singing scary elisions. Air in the fear in the, etc. On the breach that the clout the learning, or was it leaning, and the walls so quiet I can hear against? Thank you. I rewrote the title for this, I don't know what it was. Oh, it's called Homage. You'll maybe figure out. This also has a note after it, which may help you understand the homage thing, or may not. It doesn't matter, does it? Hello, ooh there, out where? I'm listening, are you speaking? And I think this is what it is, Jack, what you were talking. It's the dictation, Frank. It's the dictation. This entire dirigiblic armadas, delirium tremendous, ums and errors and simultanacula, or is it lie? And no dunker to ask, yes, this is all code as shouldn't. What do I take you for? Allow me a watto? I'll tuck my glove. What other conditions are there? Spell me Arthrodite. Blase all the cares it takes us, trials and yttrium triols, opener and opener, a Tony kiss, diagonal leaf, ferruginal florist, truck stop flutterby. What stops do you know? A, B, youiful, my sweet everlipper. Hot you doing? Because this ain't no byways. No, it's never oppositional. We're all in this on our together. We had to have fought for, I guess, or is it a gamey giftiche? And we requited requisite, recklessful naiveteers of porphyric justice. All the other choices taken. All of us, we are all ears. And the note, okay, this is, which is used in combination with porphyrins in the treatment of certain and utterly non-porphyric diseases, is acerbic. Frank is Frank Zappa. The line is a corruption of a line in the Captain Beefheart song, The Blimp, on the album Trout Mass Replica, and who Jack is explained in the poem. That was the homage part for Mr. Spicer. Okay, this is one that ended up being a little poem at the end, but didn't start that way. Exit. How do you suppose you could never sleep again? What a gain. What again did you ever? Elysionless life, lesionless demise. A rest never felt so clued, and a rest never clung to you despite the, what? Shoeing horses off, scamming the man. What, no pastrophe? No amalgam, a lichen shine to keep the nights off? Who isn't asking this? Who the times become? Who deshallows their life? Always one language short. Short a tongue, long in the pants. Short a tonnage, long in the panache. Such irrepetitive nuance. But it isn't Norwegian either. It isn't Fjorden, ether mall. Okay, so there's a word for what I do, but I can't remember it. A screech for what I owe, a discreet sarge or starch. How do I get back to you? How never in the any place leave so as to need to? Thursday work. Oh, thanks. Whoever did that. Let's see. I think, sorry, I'm a little nervous tonight, which activates certain nerves. I think I'll skip ahead to these guys. Yeah, I think it's time to talk about the present conditions. So here are a few bouts of anger, shall we say. This one's called Preta Torrential. Playing the A-sharp ass harp at volume fortissimo, a stray cabaret at the corner of Fartisa and Ogden. Today's special at the coroner body gas, in the vexinitude of victims ain't us, hoorah-roo? Ha! And trippy look at boot heel saliva, lightning blue, hail the bladder gone, heil galoot, self-nomered ass hat of bootism, what's apt ain't aped and what ain't is, self-dragging, smolder-breathing, fully folly-fueled fool, lip smack of death, and the rest of him's nothing, so put a big black dot on it and make the ribbon of indelible steel. Yeah, let's get him. Carcass. Here in the city of Hidges, the splancnomancers read the reds, foretold the grabs of bodies, fleck and politish, foresowed the garbs of bloodieds, fletch and poultice, filched cops philippics from their rotoed antigraves. Oh, what medley of bravura gravado, what furor of vagrant impenitence breached out of the tum into the rumbla, frail wrecks and reckonings, like the midstream interds of Pompeii. Or was it Pompey, mid-saddle straddle, astrode his own cock losses, like a peanut librarian fussing with death, or missed putts, or missed your chips, glumped to Washington Cemetery, looking for audacitapes, a flamboyant, presidential schizoqueeze, for a bit of pre-reminiscence, a floor retold, gluey, spack in ignosquamicious orangeophonics. Just checking, is he still alive? Okay. Circles. We're all dead, are we? Never could do Tag right. A smile stretched across a skull then. My nobody's a papier verite dislikeness of moi self. Who's yours? Right in the eye kisser? Right as? Ask Juan Grease's anatomy, not me. If to survive it is, a little life must to a rainfall. Elmer Senior Fuddledy here, plicking the pomegranate seeds from movie sets. Ever since I get hiding the Harry Wheels Hubs Fork, Unity Praters, I forget why, these here the junks in the chimney dark Sargassa seized, floating as the edict goes at the bottom. How much time has gone by? Like really, not what it seems. Yeah, you would say that. See, I did that one. No. All right, this is called biog. So let's say you're born, and then they come seeking your life's blood as, that's accidents too, you nada. Chance, Kansas, your Doomtowna, memory blanks and after divots, your landing maid. Wait, wasn't that you in that movie with whatchamacallums, limped with a spit and shat caddy saddle? The dumbassin' and kickstand magoofin, any jack hero in a soup can acquires. This was before reminiscences and feedlots. Or the day they shrugged in, because of what you forget if you did or didn't. That's life or it isn't it? There's a they all over, and a you gleaning the extras for a mate, or just someone's got a half a sou or sold to theirself, or whatever the hell it is that it's called. Yes. That's cheerful, isn't it? Cheering you right up there, Jen. All right. What should we do? Let's just switch to this guy. I almost forget water. Okay, so this is this book, which is on sale here, cheap. Oh, it's so cheap. $20. That's like 100 poems for $20. Can't go on. What happened was about 10 years ago, I had this 10 CD set by the Cecil Taylor Feel Trio called 2 Teas for a Lovely Tea. And I was sort of casting about for what to write, and I thought, oh, my friend James Wagner was doing acrostic poems about paintings. Maybe I could do something with music. So I started going through the CDs, put on the headphones, start the CD, start typing. When the CD ended, the poem ended. And so I went through the whole thing once, and then I did it 9 more times. So that's how we get 10 times 10. So each round I called a listen. So here's one from listen 2. It's the 6th CD called Proximal or Nearest. Stand a ear on end, love of kinds, mortal crusp, okay to say you, Hartier, musket wits, smoothbringmans, devilerer, odi dammer, ungoshed, missizem, betruid, fang, stammerunger, bringbroader, whose brother and hume, wheels, to the cloudwreck might throne. Then they there them varies in trees of theros, a sup, a seep, toings to the heat-toned, growing frantic. But Soki, deal, guaud I wane tag along, and juice asky, and adorn the flip-a-line. Do what tramble means that you. There's the old hoowitch again, the lip-sweep shagurgatory. Oh, yerd suckle limbs, oh, steer anvil, uphick of anorical liaisons. Sick, lame, axe climb, the worldly mondamity of hexatic geometrices, so queered by so cued, by sonical of sodware, mice wet, cunner, spausing holy pelf was againable. Would stilly he still unstill this wood-gaudy pounding of notes, no one heaver imagined Cecil soraphemes of crowgels and peahen sirings, syringal furtitives and imputitudes of almighty uvulomoxidatives. Never cold, never lumsy, avaritioner of the so-end, the old zounzi, zickle and zais, scyther and seethe, goddesses and grobderes. I hear the organs, curry, cripe, holographies, seal orchids in granite apse. Peeled for roots a puff where the corns strow, figular dative stamens of his locks with their keys of ferric flames. I dud know why anyone would be you are waiting for what? This the music, Jack, the avail of where nose and ear meet, stormerge and flee toward, nanosecond, manowar, main clutch, uncombable, swerve, shrive, let flay, be shield, fly, shall, latter. I am a can be shillant for this. Can I allow in these words dice illables a be? This here, of daring dur, I would will belive. This the sinceways, affold, tropacetics, and a canning flattery. Voiler market, sigil labrum cent navol, David orkster, bindlewith, delvlemon, veil sump, sige engine mechanics, phylode, in a bird hemory, sedger the longings, stiffen the herbs, and herds of delexical zonings, example voids, no pterodods for loud, whence wisp peak of volump and amplers. Track 2. Well, of course, it's the old cat's tongue on a nutsack corundum. Oak hedge and deer skin, crow zen in the deformicary, triggle staver stites. And I'll do one more of those, and then we'll play. This is from Listen 6. It's called Alumo. I just want to say what Mike quoted me for what I said about Cecil's music. It's true. You have to hear the music. You got to go to the music. Go to the music. Mary Pencil Attributes, join the Suka log. My Moses Measlin Triptoxophone, Brawn of Caesorian Secantions of Velard, Infraructus Unfratic Aerotorder, Logonomy Straculture, the Frumbelly Derilio Werigaze Gonten Ye Wieseler Sauending Gesauts, Flammenly Tammers, Aspirate, the Implode Simflex, Karyodoki, Conjugustus, Demmed Winds, Poin, Alatars, Atomy, Enmine, Cutaclear Supplosions, Sufflotion Oodlesey, and Ainen, Very Bucksket, Aplomb, Niverniac Jikskin, Winderfront, Port Potumity, Heinous Diddle Failter, Flexel, Tanned, Enmity, Animite, hurling up the land lay she rent flounsteaded, the prairie, backtrier, so dom as to wax formord, ziounds, uda ected, smutches demure, and justice under all, injustice under all, endis undall, these are times. Trenvo fee ever ex clackily ostever, multi-stun slavic, brittle tone, guay aquile stock fermens vermentatin, givel goosemass, goose swavior dimile, waxtrix made in hoven. Why, that's the hovermeng guy is adjuressing tabooed. Hey, biddy tittle, starched inner shite hill, boo heaves jar, imwa balmus, fatual flail, Cretan wounder, whirl nickin thaftercum, suckling pusa quarries, the weep and stain sadip, thaw till pahen, word for xenots, firsting for fiat, dancing of knee pired of ancestral charwhip, Girandur digests its crutinous favory one. And not why all after the Beth, whose deck clown, patter, crooner, droned and phasely dugs a barrow, helloans, chilanting, chillinins, a pureed rexus, praxis chimes, fecturb zeois, oaken, alewive, noises, foidals, uprighted, rumpinins, honeydis mixodly, and that, out the hume ritter intel dottery fumessible fletcherer. O con of ken old kern of crow, samble lead shoes as lust ear. Cow we number the Snarlin tangiber a spill on his slee, or ishi a shy, a wan pale of cloler fields. Pawn vide snog nose, lurking lordlemai, twingelin wenstrange horns tench, tabral piano twist, ball twosier, dandel vibrant, menthelfinger. Why can it be you then to lung at swan side to behold? Human, bride, sambler, shushed elm twiggle, licked an elevator. So there's 98 more for you to dive in. Just a minute, we'll give you the numbers to call. I'm sorry, I always forget water. Did Mike have to go home for it? No, Mike went. Oh, thank you, Mike. That's all my fault. Wait, give me the empty one. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Steve Timm, ladies and gentlemen. I met Steve in the 1990s, back when the metal wasn't rust, and I was wearing a giant leather hat. It was so big that I was lifted off the ground on occasion. And I walked in, and there was like a pile of Blatz beers all around him. And I thought that's what's cool here at cheap at any price. So I got a Blatz, and I read a couple poems nervously, and I was eating my lips off. I was so nervous. And then I was leaning casually in my giant leather hat at a piano, Cafe Montmartre back in Madison. And he sailed by like a giant sail on a boat with his ninth Blatz of the night, maybe. And he kind of clinked my Blatz, and he said, "That line about the loose knees of the horses, that was good." And ever since then, when I write poems, I write them just, thinking what Steve might think. So, and I'm grateful to have my friends from all the way back in kindergarten, grateful for Louis and Mike and Jenny and Laura and all of you guys for coming out, my cousin Scott, Charlotte, my mom, Larry, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Yeah, my sister Renbird's here. But when I think about Milwaukee, so I'm going to give you some poems in a second. But I I still love the Milwaukee Brewers. So back 13 years ago, I texted Ask Uke, talking about Milwaukee, up on the farm in Ladysmith, Wisconsin. In the 8th inning, you could text Uecker, Bob Uecker. And so I texted him, what instrument would you play if you were to sit in with a band in Summerfest? And anyway, everybody gone to bed. My brother-in-law Eddie, had kind of armed the home. This was his dream came true because I was sitting there out on the porch drinking two-hearted ales, and I texted Bob Uecker, of course, because we're buds, and they picked my thing, and he goes, "Hey, where I am from Ladysmith," and they tried to debate where Ladysmith might be. They thought it might be by Phillips, but anyway, I let out this giant scream. Everybody had gone to bed. I was screaming, and Eddie came running down to defend the house, and so anyway, all of our dreams come true. But he said he would play the gut bucket, is what he'd play. So I'm going to play the gut bucket of my soul for the next 23 minutes for you. I was talking about Jeff Mitchell, who's here tonight. We share a dear friend in Charlie Parr. So I'm going to read a poem for Charlie Parr and a poem for Marissa Anderson, who is coming to your town at Acme Records May 29th. And then I'm going to read some chunks from this big old elongated piece of shrapnel over here. But this is one for Charlie Parr. Thank you all again for being with us. Thank you, Steve. I've seen Steve read 1,001 times, and that was the best reading. It was indelible. I felt you got into the marrow in my pinky toe with that one. Thank you. Yeah. Nah, well. He does. Perhaps Charlie Parr's playing invites clothes patched me through to the place where learning stammers, and we may stand in washbin of owls, of crows, lent to muling pines, for the time of saying sight, washed a lot, this rain, the super Great Lake go, French fry, private eye cigarette, it's sane to sigh, pull a piece of sand, pike wide, till it's beach inside, out pants, belly jelly pigtail of wood, screw assembles, nosing in time, untime, faster undine, escape scarp most held 9, fleet seas, cut these pockets away, drop from hair on faces falling, in the 1 foot in way of wet paper fire, free, 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 cloud for a day, say what you want, what you need, died beautifully, sorry did, plead did, just yesterday, courage, cool utterances, aphoristic even, without corruption's pleated gusto, golden paperweight grin, free, 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 cloud for a day, a blue one, yes a blue ride, wow. And then this one's for Marissa Anderson, thank you. If you're not at Acme Records, I don't know, maybe you died, and then they can invite me to do the eulogy. Perhaps Marista Anderson's playing gives sky above sky. There were new breaths, huddle, periwinkle, wade to Brecht, chosen mouths, occupy aria, gotcha, 10-4, witches, sky clear, thundercloud then, mastodon cloud wandering, child hand, scabbed with drop jam, reluctant through sleeves as cypress branches play, glass marble poquetto, click hip, you're it with smoky thread, winter lean, weaned leaner. When you go, remember butter, some scare dream clings, burdock, wood tick, one hayrick shade past Albion, shakes hands with the dog star, kicks foot snow backwards into applesauce jars of air. Give me a better name for eternity, dusty parole on every leg of the wolf spider, ascending the Japanese maple to sup on nest mites for whom the world is three, larval, aardvark, aperitif, bird heat, straw beat, sky, you don't have to, nor do snoring I, wait to wait, wake to wake, hydrangea sun-eye, whale rib wind, sprang cave, spells the stars, by which we wash and stretch the way past needing, reaching. Marissa Anderson, you missed that. I'll be at the church doing your eulogy. All right, let's get into going on home to 54848. That's Rusk County. I go up there and pour some maple syrup in my ears and let it turn into brandy. So this is for barn swallows and for spring peepers who've been peeping lately, in case you haven't heard. That helium popcorn. Here we go. I'll read a little from the beginning and a little from the end. It's one long wail, so we'll get a little chirp from the start and a little cheep from the end. Now hear swallows returning, and soundless and giggle and cartwheel, and somehow I feel wing winds, little infant shudders of sipped air, and somehow I feel wing winds, blue-green book spines shelved up high and rosined, some with hand-done placemat saddles. Only you two once were busy being nothing but eyes. Ah, step steep creek chair, true this gilt lettering, half recalls wish beer, dizzy head, riverbed, him who has or is too much becomes a living spill. Ah, reach up, how long for, until the hand, a sparkler of ices, tingles to tune froth. You bunch of paper page sniffers calling the operator for quick chomps on temps of April soils. Prodigal, trace this gray slate lightly. Go draw fawners' hearts on old barn wall whitewashes. You're not supposed to draw no hearts. No hearts, no monarchs, no cartoon war lips on basswood wide, potato chips backlit by bodies of bag by sun. Cry, rag, sun, rosewater, blood through your ear, oh, for air, sun, gives the pink, toss that quilt, sun hat on a laundry pile, impromptu picnic, freckle, mobile, ants, yes, come. Forget the dentist, forget lawyer, forget Tuesday, forget the little rush of getting paid in dump truck hugs, aroma of everyone. Feet want strangers, hands want us, million in pond. I see through pisses a paradise of legs along, to swim, walk in gravy boat boots, on the moon, in a hymn gone, to the dogs, go right, wrong, left trips the lip of the old bachelor's foundation. Road used to ride out just that far, just for him. Lush hush in old clothes, in 2 and in 4, stacked right tight against the wall. White pines devouring, his name none recall. That woodcock way he had of seeing nothing. He saw hands as traps, maple syrup taps, cry trees clear, bleed reception. Coarse spring peepers sing zingingest just right there. Rash of ends begun, get you in the jaw, lemon strutting. Who you love, double dutched again. When I walk the deer trail, I walk the coyote trail. Zebulon, Zephyr, fingernail, metal corridor, light switch, tinfoil, zenith, zillion, zest and zag. Teeter-totter got a new gig when the trickle-down pirates pickled shed nails for eyes, lamed this town. Seems I don't hardly need a thing. First robin on first one she sees. Red wine, coffee cup, shot of schnapps, Christmas in Tucson. Turkey foots, surveyor's bundle, signed the not waiting she. Carpet foam, saguaro, fours this dust between. Song for the milk teeth, stars sand-dollaring in the lunchbox of going Orion. Accordions, a shark eating, packing peanuts, cut fruit sweats, this one time, interrupted by cute punctuation flies. Walk the nylon run like a bead down a beer, wasp or air guitar. Napkin rinsing at gravy drool, sap out a knot eye, ant mossed in there, sour pillow statement cleaned by the breathing, outdoors at dawn, before the city airs got that habit of traveling along. And the wind gets to going, and the pine boughs itch at the edges of themselves. Ocean or a coming train, and the endless swamp goes, white then green, as mold might host a bone. Pit bull, profile, bobcat, skinned by the launching, swamp eyes softening, as we might spirit a martini, down carpet aisle on a speeding train. Funny to be going, and it's going. Life, trackle juke, sure. Life, but seated later. Sedge and sea-dew, try hairy sides of wrist. Try and find total lickable, while tamarack, snow melt, dimples, swamp melt, melts the melting cool below. Supper sound of fawns suckling, drowsy giggles each, sweet concavity drowns this next excellence. Color of air cure meets, you can hear the little eating, feel mice like fire, pinch and wrench in seizured engines where seeds from pretty much anything standing, pry, sigh, shout. Once more, rat rust, whatever it takes to soon lately be more real. Suppose, pose, in it go numb, skin on the crumb, clean to whom, wren nest in the raspberries, by mites overcome, body the sun, handy ray. Goes on, so I'll go to the end and give you a little chunk of it. Oh, gosh. Thank you. Thank you guys for being with us. Lordy Lord. This is a treat. Let me get to the brass tacks, whatever that means. Okay. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Ask the tick for the ink from the heart, crawls the fox from the heart, draws the fox from the heart, draws the fox out, lost beauty mark, quick sketch map, back of the envelope, louder with wind itching, milk dour parlor there, asleep in tall grasses, bend with the wind and traveling light. Wasn't ever no key. The key was the door, and you had to shoulder it open, step in, sure, and elbow the sweaty switch and set it all down pure and pick it all up and see to things. Spat, dog crap, swallow nest, chaw plug, stuck bone jaw, silent joust above, and a couple of fledgling leavings, caterpillar hair, finger mirage. If this is a crown, this is a crown, gonna stick until days gray suede of feathers up and out and out and down. Live flight lines like I feel around dark for a glass of shy water, air fish turn turnip green, auctioneer breads his butter, bluegrass fast, I know it now. Singer sings wings, home is how old eyes bury in flues of robins leaning that way. Reach out my eyes and pet me wet with window juices. Yeah, wing over here, brush dust the mantle and mantle of yours, myself happy gone, tinker of old cold clangs. I am just motion, one man band, stepper, fixture, upper broken room. Nothing says love you like water balloon loons in our forever view of Lost Lake, clasped like a glass eye in swamp fats. Lift a sandwich like a broken horn, like a stolen horn. Borrow wears better than ever. Blow first notes till I see a shore. Day bat, swallow hay, whose baby's first ice cream heart is stretched air in peeper necks will swell the circle around. Pinball dreams, hot air balloon greens, full horses, snoring ferns. Before I know I am, crane beak, bonneted white, noisy, petrified, snail shell, crawl in small, crane in smaller still, and fox, the custodian of flame, ticklish with creek sand, might say taught wayward by, grins silver, red, white, when fire eats paint off a beer can. Praying mantis, riding, standing up on an exercise bike, garage sale, do you right, paper clip, invite, pocket lightning, bumblebee, living that rain gutter life, future sister, cricket, matchstick, pry, solventor wall, shirty wrinkles, mirror for a name tag, done the pressing down, vision could, shook, clears, and we all together now sip from one steaming zero. When wet love spread right, roll hobo spry, with a song in why, ocean rope bones, old scarecrow shown, to stroll out greenly, get your jaunt gone on, air crow, builds by bends, dear jaw, sheep, goat, archaic salt from, schooner pavilion, ready as you are, steps worth of quiet, taken by the pieces through the keyholes, crease, all these people kissing, ease, there's a ghost between, crease, needs some towel, and driveway, car wash, and more, walk on, ease, out the door, get caught, crease, in a quandary about which brand, ease, of green beans, and nobody, crease, shoveling that cart down the aisle, ease, has any idea what's happening, crease, what it's like to be daily remade, ease, a wooden bowl, deep and wide, creases, for fruits, creases, never picked, fruits, never painted, ease, by kiss, by love. See ears breathe in and in, and the field rock, relentless surface noser, choosy, refusing to warm and cold, will a little, let's agree, sing one, sings them all, sturdy, steady, ant back, fortward, a home in the going, away, away, to like new, sleep awake in waves of shine. Ride the sign, severs everywhere, song moods circle closer, lines no border, inside, green breeze, heal love. Marsh, marigold, dear, Velveeta, yellow, called forth uncorks, trillium wide, as between thumber and finger, called forth, throws hard, jet of milk mind. When everything is singing, love me, in the key of A, what counts is countless, stratigraphy, airwaves. Wouldn't write a song without singing about me. Frog eye silver, swallow ear crooked, for bug ears, bugs whose thin neck rise, cats the fern, early names fade. Concretions, they're us now, if astral, roll has leave to come to, in the barracks changed over to biscuit factory by hand, for any have a hungry throat punch song goes this jolt go swayful scarecrow shivering asparagus crutches tender under fake broke killdeer. Only you two were busy being nothing but eyes, and them surrendered to tinsel fidgets so airy, out breath, in ear, fingernail, cardor effect. Get that tinfoil between your teeth and bite. Mercury leaps and ride. Mud, not dust. Soup, not bread. Easy, easy, easy. Creases, 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 creases. Thank y'all. Steve, Timm, and me.
Dang. Thank you so much, Abraham Smith, Steve, Timm. One more time for the two of them. Thanks to you all for being here. Come see us again Sunday for the Mai Sugimoto Trio, 7 p.m. For tonight, stick around, enjoy the good company, check out the books. Good night, everybody. Thanks.